If you're looking for an awesome product at a great price, be sure to check out the link in the description. In a rapidly evolving situation, the Zionist Federation of Australia is urging Israel to ensure the unimpeded flow of aid to Gaza. Key events are unfolding, shaping the narrative of this complex crisis. Earlier today, a motion passed the Greens Senate, targeting Israel's aid blockade of Gaza. The motion underscores the urgency of the situation, placing pressure on the Australian government to intensify efforts. The Zionist Federation of Australia has expressed its deep concern over reports of widespread hunger in Gaza, emphasizing the critical need for humanitarian assistance. They are calling for Israel to act without delay to ensure aid reaches Palestinian civilians. In a parallel development, the NSW Premier has labeled a potential pro-Palestinian protest on the Sydney Harbour Bridge as a significant logistical undertaking. The Australian political landscape is also responding to the unfolding events. Inflation data released today showed a drop to 2.1% in the year to June, which is from 2.4% in the year to March. This has led to Jim Chalmers, the Treasurer, calling the data stunning. Meanwhile, Google has addressed the government's decision to include YouTube in the under-16 social media ban, asserting that their platform does not fit the definition of social media. A closer look reveals that a joint statement was signed by Australia and 15 other foreign ministers, including those of France and Canada, reiterating their commitment to a two-state solution. Ed Husic, a Labour MP, has voiced that recognizing Palestinian statehood alongside countries like France and the UK could curb Hamas's influence in Gaza. However, the coalition has expressed reservations about recognizing a Palestinian state without a proper two-state process. The Labour Friends of Palestine campaign group has criticized Anthony Albanese's comments, deeming them as belittling and disrespectful to the calls for further sanctions on Israel. Peter Moss, co-convener of the Labour Friends of Palestine, has stated that the Prime Minister's remarks have dismissed the sentiments of thousands of Labour Party members, and it doesn't reflect the strong support for sanctions which are clearly defined by the motion passed by more than 80 local ALP branches. Further insights come from the Labour Senator, Tim Ayres, who is echoing Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister's previous comments on the Greens' urgency motion, outlining the government's position, emphasizing every innocent life matters. The government reiterates the call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and release of all hostages, while condemning Hamas for their ongoing acts of terror. Michaelia Cash, the opposition Senate leader, has expressed that the coalition is saddened by the suffering in Gaza. However, the remainder of her speech focuses on Hamas. Andrew Wallace, the chair of Parliament's pro-Israel caucus, has also weighed in, expressing concerns about Australia's willingness to recognize a Palestinian state. Jim Chalmers said that the government wants to ensure that there is no role for Hamas in a potential Palestinian state. In the Senate, the Greens are leading a motion emphasizing the risk of mass starvation in Gaza, attributed to Israel's aid blockade, and calling for the Australian government to step up its efforts. Marine Faruqi expressed that the situation is brutal, inhumane, and savage. Additional developments include a new select committee being formed by the Greens to address climate change misinformation, and the trial of reality TV star Matt Wright has been delayed. A NSW plane crash claimed the life of a man in his 50s. Dr. Michelle Anundaraja, a Labour senator, while describing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, stated that there are no words left to describe what is happening there. She is an ally of Israel,